So the Springboks have got themselves the victory over Japan for their first November international, 61 points to 7, building some great momentum heading towards that French match. For next week, a lot of try scorers throughout this game. We saw Sio Kolisi score very early on in the contest. Sasha Feinberg, Ngume Zulu getting himself 2. We saw a penalty try in the first half, which actually had Takeuchi making his way off. Wilco Low got 1. 2 tries for Kurtley Arendse, including a highlight reel one where he did chase after Cheslin Colby's kick, and then also Jesse Krill and Andre Esterhazen both scoring themselves the tries as well. So what did we learn from this game for the Springboks? Well, once again, their set pieces dominant, although we didn't get to see that scrum as much throughout this game as maybe some would have liked, but their lineouts, the rolling mauls, and also just that physicality in general were all little factors that helped the Springboks create the scoreline that we did see here. So, looking through at players who stepped up. First of all, Kurtley Arendse, he got himself the Man of the Match award. This was his first game back after a long-term injury, scored himself 2 tries, and also just seemed very well set out there on the wing as if he hadn't been away for all of that time. We saw some great work from Sasha Feinberg and Ngume Zulu, of course, also getting himself the 2 tries from the game, but his vision, finding the gaps and creating opportunities. He linked up nicely with Kobus Reinach early on in the game. Once again, Reinach having a couple handling errors here and there, but still a very strong option to partner with Sasha, and I do think that's something that Rassi will look at moving forward. For the Boks as well, the loose forwards, they were busy. Sio Kolisi scored the early try. Mostert trying to earn himself some more minutes throughout the November internationals. Diacha as well as Snyman were solid up front when it came to those lineouts, and also the ability to get those offloads away for Arge Snyman. But overall, you can look through at many players in the Springbok side who did step up for this performance, but I think that the biggest concern for South Africa was a certain injury that we did see. Ox Nché, he ended up getting his leg taken out from underneath him, awkward angle, and it looked like a knee injury for the Big Ox. Now, this was the type of game that some felt he didn't even need to play, and I believe the reason that he did was so that he could be alongside Zachary Porthen for his international debut. But the thing is now, it may cost Ox his November internationals. He did not look in a good way. He was staying down. At the time when he was injured, Sasha was just breaking the line, scoring another try for the Springboks. But if Ox can't go out there now, they've got Gerhard Stennekamp, they have got Wilco Low, they have got Thomas de Toy, can also play loose head, and then Boan Fenter. But their loose head prop stocks are definitely not looking as stacked as they were, let's say, 3 or so weeks ago, before we saw that Jan Hendrik Vezel's suspension. As well, for the Japanese in their side, there were a few players who did shine a little bit more than the rest of their team. I thought that Fujiwara actually did a pretty decent job controlling the game from that number 9 jersey. When you've got a big physical Springbok 4-pack just trying to dominate you all throughout the match, it's always going to be challenging. But Fujiwara, he seemed to handle it quite well, and then eventually got taken off for Fukuda, who also didn't do too badly. Osada and Ishida had some decent moments out on the wings as well, but I do think that Yoshitaka Yazaki, that number 15, scored himself the lone try for the Japanese in this contest. They were saying after the game he's just in university at the moment, but he's got such a bright future, controlled it from the back for the Japanese, made some great decisions on attack, and thoroughly did deserve that try when he was able to score it. But next week, we get to see Japan go head-to-head with the Irish, whereas for South Africa, they have the match up against France. Now, with the exception of the Ox Nché injury, you would say that this was a big success for this matchup. They get minutes under their belt. They get that warm-up game before heading into a tough challenge up against the French, and France won't have that same opportunity to have that warm-up fixture. So you'd have to say, even though it's in France, maybe South Africa a little bit of an advantage heading into that match at this point in time. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning into this very short review of the game. Overall, some dominance shown by South Africa. This match went about how most people were anticipating, but now we get to look forward to 4 more internationals for the Boks coming up too. But thank you all very much for watching. Do let me know what you thought of the match in the comments down below if you did enjoy. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all for the next one.